Ho, 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 ho!
Uncle Tom!
Hey, how was school today?
Wait, I'm way too old for a babysitter. Cookies!
Hey, do not eat those cookies. Give me a hug. You know, your mom told me that you saw all this stuff on social media and on the news about Orlando, and so I wanted to come over and talk to you about it.
I was just scared because it could have been you.
Yeah, I know, it could have been me. Oh, I don't know why people have to die over other people's hate. I mean, you know, we're family. And they had family too. So I came over here to make 49 gingerbread angel cookies, you know, just to represent the victims of this shooting. And I want to discuss everything that happened, so I got you this.
I love this pen for me.
Yeah. So we're going to write down everything that's topical about this event.
Oh, well, I could just use the iPad and record it and email it to myself.
No. Look, I'm old school, and I want us to learn about this Orlando shooting. You see, all these cookies that I made, I wrote everyone's name down who had died and their age. You see this one over here? This is Drew. Drew won the Anne Frank Humanitarian Award in his junior year in high school. And he started the very first gay-straight alliance in his high school.
We have something like that in our school. I go to a few meetings with my friends who are gay.
That's great. You see, you were given the perfect name, Hope, and you are the future. 49 lives, 49 stories, and I know them all. These two, they had a salon, and they would give free haircuts and makeovers to women that were in domestic violence situations. And he bought his first home, and he bought it so that his mom can get out of the neighborhood she lived in. You know, he was visiting from Brooklyn, just came down for a holiday, and he had 3 children, and he had 2 children, and he was celebrating his 21st birthday. And he wanted to be a fireman. And his friend came. He used to work at Disney. And he never goes out, but he decided to come over for his friend to cut the cake. He worked at McDonald's forever. He was such a great boss. And he just wanted to take his girlfriend out dancing. They just loved Latin music and salsa. He had a tattoo that said, "Love has no gender," and worked at Calvin Klein. And he worked at Gucci, and guess what? Gucci paid for his funeral. You know, she just wanted to be a party planner. She was so young. He used to work on Telemundo, and he did this amazing kids talent show. He was in construction, and he was like a gym bunny, and he came over from Puerto Rico. He just wanted to see Selena Gomez. He actually saw her in concert and then just went out dancing. She loved basketball. She lived in Hawaii, and she decided to come back to Orlando to help her mom and grandmother. He worked for the great travel agency, Al & Chuck Travel. He was a lead singer with Frequency. He had an amazing voice. I mean, he started his own entrepreneur business called Entrepreneur. I mean, everybody here was the light of their family. They were so well loved. This was the worst shooting in American history. Whew, okay, so talk to me. What are some of the questions that you have?
I just don't understand how or why this would happen. And in Orlando, the happiest place on earth.
Well, let's just start. What is it that you think?
The first thing they said, it was because Omar Mateen was Muslim.
We're not going to say his name. So from now on, let's just use the word perpetrator.
That he believed he was doing something good for his God by killing all the people in a gay club. Do you think Muslims hate lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people?
You know, there are some religions that do preach hate against, people like myself. So let's just start by write down the word Muslim and then definitely write down the word ISIS. And we're going to research those two words.
There was a tweet from the Texas Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick. He said, "Reap what you sow." Isn't that from the Bible?
Religion is not God, and God has no religion. It's a belief and a worship of a God. And there are many different interpretations of the word God. So let's write down the word religions. There are hundreds of different religions, all selling their membership cards. If a religion has hate in it, any hate at all, you need to find a new spirituality. Do you believe in an absolute loving God? Then do you think that a God would actually want someone to kill people just because they love someone from the same sex?
No, God does not want that. God wants us all to love one another.
Oh, this cookie right here, this is Eddie Justice. When the shooting started, he texted his mom. The first thing he texted to his mom, Mina, was, and here she is in front of the studio and she's sharing her text. The first text says, "I'm in the club, they're shooting." And the second text he sent to her was, "Call the police." And then he wrote, "I'm gonna die." And his last text was, "Mom, I love you."
There was an interview with his father. His dad said that he saw two men kissing and that put him off.
A big issue is homophobia. This is major. So write that word down. And also self-hate.
Why is it so easy to hate in the name of religion, but love in the name of humanity?
Do you remember? You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be carefully taught. That was something I used to sing to you when you were just a little girl.
That's from the musical South Point, right?
South Pacific.
Oh.
And that was written in 1949.
Wow, a long time ago.
Hate, is not born in you. It happens after you're born. People who live with hate often see themselves as kind and loving people. It's called disassociation. Yeah, write that word down, disassociation. Our hometown is the world's front yard for human rights. We have Frederick Douglass. He is the father of the civil rights movement, and Susan B. Anthony and the women's rights movement right here. And Harriet Tubman is right down the street. We come from a land where the people want to work toward exposing fear and hate. I have this book. It's called Wholehearted Forgiveness, and this book has all the answers. For all people, situations, and events. This is going to be our next project.
Well, why don't we finish this project and put the 49 hearts on the cookies?
All right. The first one.